explain it. When I close my eyes, I see a strange reality. Am I dreaming? Or on the edge of remembering? You wake up feeling like you really don't belong. You can't explain it, but when you close your eyes you see familiarity. Are you dreaming? Or on the edge of remembering? Welcome, and actually I tried. I'm still figuring out how to do this. I wanted everything to go under shorts today because one's 15 seconds and one is it still a short if it's 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, or 2.25 minutes? Yeah, I had the hardest time just even getting it, finding the command to get it to upload. And finally, that was like the last button I tried. It's like, oh, right in the middle. So the next one will be a little easier. I saw that. Yeah, I'm. Did I put it on TikTok? I don't know if I can put it on TikTok and then send it TikTok to YouTube, right? Maybe? I'm so bad with this, Meg. I'm learning. But I'm a slow learner these days. I'm not sure. I thought they did because I originally did the first video on TikTok and went from TikTok to YouTube. That's why the TikTok logo is on my YouTube video, which is what I figured out I must have done, because otherwise how would TikTok's logo get on my YouTube video? I can try. I can try right now, right? Oh, wait a minute. Can I do? Well, I'll definitely lose the chat momentarily. Yeah, I just don't. Well, let's see. I can share this, right? If I share it from YouTube, do it both ways. I don't see how. Dawn. I'm going to copy the link. Well, we'll go back to our chat. I know that should be, right? Okay. I wasn't able to share it that way, so let me see if I can do it this way. Give me my main. I don't know if this thing is just getting ready to crap out or what. I don't even want to think about that. I can't go and buy a phone. It's not the buying of the phone as much as having to repopulate things. Like, don't make me do it. Okay, so, is that you following me? Say, go home. No, home. Wait a minute, my inbox has two things now. Witness liked my story and a Meg started following me. Okay, let me see if I can figure this out correctly. No, I don't want to upload that one. Give me an option. There we go. This might work. Can you have it on both? Let's just try it. We're up to 32, 35, 30, 40. We'll see. That could explain why I have a TikTok video on YouTube that says 5,000 views. Next. Oh yeah, I need to hashtag. I got told. I hate cheap chocolate. Toeblarina. Sorry, go off my own little world here. There was another hashtag I wanted to put and I forgot what it was. Chocolate. Hashtag. Do they have cheap chocolate? My new yeah. Craplet. CHEAP CHOC. No, not VC. Now I know how men feel when they say their fingers are too big to type on these things. Cheap chocolate. No, Lush is the wrong tag. That's for the other video. Okay, I think we got it. We're gonna find out. Well, go ahead and post it. And now, oh, it's now I'm looking at this. Okay. Okay. Da, 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 da. How is Meg today? We got our heat back, as you know. Oh, you didn't know. Did you know? We got our heat back last night. It was today -7 Fahrenheit when I woke up. Wind chill made it -22 degrees. Everything in the house is cold because we didn't have heat for 24 hours. Oh, that's a cool idea. Let me write this down. That's why I brought the notebook to the table. Oh, fashion show. Okay, now what do I do with that? Just take a photograph of each one and then what do I do? Make something out of that? Okay. Oh, now let me see if I can share this. Share to Facebook. Anything happening? And yeah, but it's still so cold. I have had the space heater on. I turned it off to do this because the fan has been getting on my nerves. Cheap chocolate isn't worth the paper it's printed on. Which of course makes no sense, but that's the idea. All right, now let's see if we can do, where's the more? Okay, I've seen it. You don't have to keep sharing it to me. I put it up to Amazon as a product. Hello, Jacob. I love chocolate. I just don't like cheap chocolate. Cheap chocolate is terrible. Meg, it won't let me go backward to, it won't allow me to do the TikTok to, you know, oh, I love dark chocolate too. And if you love chocolate, do not buy this. This has fake vanilla. Yeah, it uses vanillin. The cherries are in corn syrup and high fructose corn syrup, citric acid, natural and artificial flavor, potassium sorbate, sodium benzoate, sulfur dioxide as preservatives, FD&C red number 40, corn syrup, dark chocolate flavored coating made out of sugar, vegetable fat, palm, cocoa, chocolate liqueur, soy lecithin, that's an emulsifier, invertase, natural and artificial vanilla flavor, which is, it's the very last ingredient. It usually means it's bogus. So they're really proud of this stuff. It's made in the USA. Also has the note that it contains a bioengineered food ingredient, and I just don't give a shit about that at the moment. It's at the least of the problems with these ingredients. So, hello, Megan, with a mutual connection. Okay. Now, back home, because I don't understand this and I will get lost. I get loose, you know. Agnes, hello. Welcome back. Did you get a nap in? So I have a white chocolate. No, it's a good quality white chocolate. See, that's the problem. I love chocolate, and I actually like a good white chocolate because that's made with real cocoa butter. It's not made with the chocolate liqueur, but it does have the cocoa butter, which has its characteristic chocolate smell, and it's kind of good for you. As a matter of fact, that's one of the things that that and regular butter and coconut oil, they make you eat that in the Arctic to survive up in the, well, I guess North Pole, is it? Anyway, you have to do a lot of fat to keep your calories up in the cold. So, anyway, this is like, it's just ewy. Yes, do not buy this one. I love chocolate, but I love good chocolate. Now, I have a good chocolate present, but I have a video especially planned for it, so I'm not going to show you what it is. But it does happen to be made with Meg white chocolate. It was an expensive little tidbit, I will tell you. It's unfortunate I won't be able to eat it after I do what I need to do. Now, there are times when cheap chocolate is actually not that bad. This is a case in hand, in both hands, because after everything I've been through today, I need a treat. I'm bullshitting you. I had a wonderful day. I'm just taking it slow, and it was mostly just, you know, tedious retakes over and over of Toeblarina in the spa, Toeblarina crunching one of these. So yeah, this is box number 2. Box number 1 was completely decimated by Toeblarina. So this is an example of, well, I'm not going to say it's good. I can't quite go that far. But you are familiar with the Yodel? The Yodel has dark chocolate coating, and it's more of a devil's food, a darker devil's food. This is made more cheaply, and yet in some ways it's actually a little bit better than the Yodel. Go figure. I got stuck getting this cheap one because they were out of Yodels. And I had decided pre-shopping trip that this was the treat I wanted to indulge in. And once I get things in my head, well, I go get them whenever possible. So this was the case. I also had a sandwich, a deli sandwich in my brain. And since then, I've had 5 of them that I've made at home with the same one package of nitrate-free, natural, humanely treated before killing and processing into sliced ham. Delicious and a little bit, well, just a little bit less guilt. Now, I've been cutting back on all this stuff because of cholesterol, and basically sugar is the worst thing you can do to your veins. So yeah, you know, I'm trying not to feel too badly about it. I'm not feeling bad about it right now at all. If I felt bad about it, I would not do it, because then it would not cooperate with my body, because I'd be going against what my body was saying. But my body is saying, go ahead, you got a cup of tea here, you got your water, you had your vitamins, you had your lunch, you stepped on half a dozen of these stupid candies. I deserve a break today. I had a bad week last week. Oh, I'm so sorry, honey. That is the hardest. What kind of cancer? Curious. We deal with a lot of that in this building. A lot of seniors in my building. I'm 69 next month, so you know, I think about leaving a lot. Yeah, their week was terrible. Not anymore. Your friend is fine. Your friend is not dead. Your friend is just off Earth. I'm not taking you lightly. I'm telling you that it's not a myth about our afterlife. It's real, and our afterlife is right around us all the time anyway. We're constantly connected. So the fewer obstacles we put up in terms of our emotion to connecting with them, the easier it is to connect with them. Lung, yeah, sucks, really sucks. Lung stuff, you know, when you can't breathe, you start getting panic signals. So that's why I tell people, when you feel anxious, check how you're breathing. You're probably breathing in a very shallow method. When those little short breaths, you're not getting rid of enough CO2 with the exhale. You have to empty your lungs, not just fill them. And then your anxiety will start to subside. Good. Because that's one of the main themes here, talking about life after life. Not as a belief, but a knowing, a reality. So I encourage people to share that good news. We want you to take risks, not insane risks, calculated risks, to expand, to enjoy your life, and try to stay in the joy vibration as much as possible. The more frequently you get to that vibration, the faster things will happen for you. The good stuff. Yes, 69 on St. Patrick's Day. I didn't think I'd make it, but here I am so far. Now, I'm careful with what I say because I'm creating my own reality. And my friends and those whom I have called my masters, my teachers, my counselors, my guides, and gods, they laugh at me and they will push. And I know I'm a child, like we are all children here. And because they know I can hear them on different levels, they fuck with me. Not in bad ways, but you have to catch it, you know? It's like those conversations, like, oh, yeah, I know who you are. You can't fool me. I'm not afraid of you. And then they go, okay, good for you. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Listen, what you see in the mirror every day is just a fraction of what you are. Most of you is still part of us. So when you return to your natural state, it's not frightening at all. It's full of love. Unless you've had a really fucked up attitude about other people, if you've been very unkind, if you've been cruel, anything like that, abusive, you know you've been that way. And because you know you've been that way, you will punish yourself far worse than anybody could do for you. So that's where ideas about the devil and all that stuff come. There is no devil, there's no Satan, but man created that to control people. And as a result, it controls us a bit, you know? I mean, not me, but some people. So we fool ourselves. When we cross over, we get exactly what we're expecting, at least momentarily, until we say, okay, help me get out of this. And as soon as you turn to the please help me get out of this, then it's the light comes in. So no one is abandoned and no one is actually tortured unless that's what they really want. But we don't really want that. So, yeah, the majority of us. No, be kind to one another. That is one of the most important things ever. You have to start looking at everyone you meet as your relative, your literal relative, one you like, one you welcome to the table on Thanksgiving or whatever holiday you celebrate with a lot of family, Christmas, Easter, or whatever it is. It is a reflection of your character, how you treat other people. It's not them. Because a person can be a complete asshole, and that's what they have to deal with. Oh, I need to take this off screen. I don't want people to make any assumptions that I'm recommending those. I am not, unless you want to step on them for a picture. It is. It's also a life choice to be happy. We have to make that decision that we want to be happy. And once we make that decision, we have to honor ourselves and let ourselves be guided by our feelings. And don't tell everybody about it because they'll just think you're nuts. But as your life gets better and better, they're going to want to know what you're doing. And when you tell them, I'm just guided by my feelings. If it feels good in here, I do it. And if it doesn't feel good in here, I don't do it. Doesn't matter what it is. It pertains to every single thing from what I eat to when I go to sleep. If it feels good, I do it. If it doesn't feel good, I don't do it. So your life gets better when you live it that way. But it doesn't always look logical to people who are outside thinking, nose to the grindstone, you got to do it this way. This is the only way to do it. This is very, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So every day we are paying attention to our choices, whether we realize it or not, right? Do this, do that. But when we are, I have been telling people for 14 years online that we are the angels we are talking to. We are the angels we think are guarding us. We don't need guarding. Nobody needs guarding, not even people in the war. I'm not saying that they don't need your prayers if you have some to give. But if they are determined to live in a certain way or die in a certain way, there's no energy you can send that's going to be accepted by them. They're there for their specific, not known to you and probably not even to them, their soul's choice. And it's hard to see if you're outside it, which is why in pretty much every case we need to mind our own business. If we can help something, then help. But don't just sit there and quote the problem, dwell on the problem, which only makes it worse because you're giving it energy. If you can't come up with a solution or you can't contribute to an actual solution, I never would say turn your back on your brothers and sisters. No. But sometimes all you can give them is your prayers. And that's not a small thing. Prayers do make things happen. So think about it. Yes, my first show was 14 years ago on Blog TV. It was called Intuitube, where I was teaching people how to be their own best psychics. Until 1 year ago, I did the cards on Twitch and Vaughn TV and Vlog and then Twitch. Now I'm still on Twitch on Sunday mornings at 10:30. Now I've been moving from Twitch over here more to YouTube because it's got a bigger audience that goes across many different subjects. So about a year ago, I was very frustrated. I was in a bad situation, a living situation. I was freezing. I couldn't afford the electricity in this condo, which was literally across the street. But I was stuck there and waiting for an apartment to come through. Yeah, well, welcome back. So yeah, I still do cards. I still have some around. I need more shelves actually in my new place to put the cards on. So right now they're in a box under my bed. I did take a few decks out for those people who want it, and my Kindle has 6 digital decks on it. So I mean, if you want a card, I'll be happy to do it for you. I will do a card any day. I'm just not making that the main subject of the show because I'm trying to teach people how to move into creating their lives more than waiting for them or trying to predict them. You can predict yourself into your future, but that's basically the whole law of manifesting. So you want to be able to get your vibration up so you can take a seed of desire and plant it into your future. So yes, that way we plan the future, but we're not predicting it. No more than creating it. So everything you want, it's already on the other side of you, waiting for you to allow it or call it into this dimension. So the universe already knows everything that you want. If you're not getting what you want, you're in your own way in somehow. So you need to get to the bottom of that. Absolutely. All right, I will give you a choice of decks. What kind of thing are you looking for today? A meditation? The original one deck that was our card of the day deck from Blog TV for old time's sake. I actually have that one out. And I have the digital ones. Oh, I just got the news that a package was delivered. I did not realize. But hold on, I get a message here. It's Maui. You knew Maui on Blog TV as Sky Blue. Here we go. I'm so glad that I did my best to take care of these decks because they're out of print. Trust Your Vibes by Sonia Choquette. Our card of the day deck for our first 3.5 years on the air. So cool. Thank you for asking. All right. Maui found another gun. Am I doing okay with this Arctic blast? Yes. Though the heat was out for 24 hours. Just before. The famous Sky Bluey. Yeah, there you are. Jacob, I'm glad to help. I know, and one of the sad things about it is this is a laminated deck, and some of them, as you see with time, the edges are drying up and coming off. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's YouTube. YouTube's live channels, excuse me, are still catching up. Twitch is really much better when it comes to that, so we're going to be there tomorrow. I was there like 3 times a week, and then for a year, while I was living across the street in Limbo, I was on every day. I mean, literally every day. Unless I had, you know, a doctor appointment that, whatever, you know. Yes, I do like these. These are a classic. Now, one of the things I really love about this deck too is Sonia Choquette did the art. She did all of the work. Now that is what I consider, you know, devotion. Plus, she doesn't call herself a psychic. She is a professional intuitive, which is, I like that a lot better. Your intuition will help you with readings, but you still have to understand that the reason people are only predictable is because they don't break their patterns. And to progress, you eventually need to break your patterns. Exercise your vibes. Well, with this cold, I'm not sure how that's going to work for you. But it is saying get your ass in gear. Do something to move your body every day. But there's reasons for it. It's not just for your physical well-being. It will inspire you. You will find yourself gaining new clarity of mind. If you're going to go for a long walk, which is a wonderful way to get some of that exercising your vibes, bring a way to record your thoughts, because you are going to get a lot of them. If you're creative, you're going to get filled with inspiration. Walking, exercising, the best thing you can do for your brain. So, there you go. Anybody else want a card while they're out? Sky Bluey or Meg? Did that hit the spot, Jacob? Did you get that before? That's actually my card too. Get off, you bum. Move it, you slug. I say that I don't call myself names, actually. I'm very kind to myself. Matter of fact, I'm more kind now to myself than I've ever been in my life. Because I have finally learned the value of cherishing yourself. All right, Meg. What card can I have? Okay, this is your choice. We have, in paper, I can do it. These are affirmations that you'll write down and keep close at hand to repeat to yourself first thing in the morning when you get up and just before you go to bed. They will change your life the longer you do it. The more you will be programming your subconscious successfully and easily. Whoa. Yep, that needs to come back down, doesn't it? I'm working on my cholesterol too. I have a shorter journey than you, but still it's been a fight. I have not been able to get it below 240. I think 243, somewhere around there. I've been getting it down like only 2 points every 3 months. My doctors are getting ready, Like if I don't get it down in another 60 days, I have to start taking a pill. But don't resent it, and don't think of it as losing weight. I mean, look, you know what your physical goals are. But what's really important is that you enjoy the way you do it and the time you spend doing it. And you do it because it's making you feel better. And at first it's going to suck. But because you're going to feel sore, you're carrying extra weight, you're working extra hard, but your body will tell you when you need to take a break. I have to stop and get oxygen because since I've seen you last, I developed a blood cancer. And it's not curable, but it is livable. You can live with it as long as you take the chemo. So the chemo gives me problems, and so does the cancer, but it won't kill me directly. So isn't that nice? So yeah, we have shit we have to deal with, but your body will cue you in to when you need to stop. Take a couple extra breaths, calm down, keep an eye on your blood pressure. I'm sure the doctor has told you everything you need to do, and you'll succeed. You'll succeed. Don't think about what you're losing. Think about what you're gaining. You're going to start gaining so much inspiration from your exercise. You are going to be writing things down, and you're not going to want to miss exercise when you do it that way because of what you're profiting. Yeah, you got to get on it before you become my age, if you want to get to my age, right? But don't be fatalistic about it. That just attracts more problems. Yep, wait a second. Oh, good. Excellent. Poppies. Hey, make it fun. The more fun, the more joy you experience when you're making these changes, the faster they're going to happen. If you are begrudging things, if you're angry, if you're putting yourself down, if your self-talk is negative, remember this, honey. Every thought is an affirmation. Everything you think is an affirmation of one kind or another. So what do you want to affirm? When you catch yourself being mean to you or the critical voice turns on, catch it. Just practice catching it and say, I know what you're trying to do. You're just from the past. You don't count anymore. I'm creating my future right now. I'm creating my life. I'm not repeating you. So you have to just remember, your brain is going to just keep volunteering anything it can throw at you because that's what it's built to do. It is your database of memories, just memories. It's not real anymore, except like in microfiche, it's like in film. It just can't do anything unless you give it permission to, because it's just a pattern. When you make a new pattern, it will start to overwrite the old one. It will never completely delete the original patterns, but they become smaller and smaller and smaller. The voice gets tinier and tinier, and it gets so easy to throw it away. Yes, exactly. No, you're correct. You're absolutely correct. That's the point. You got it right. Every thought is a thing. Everything has a vibration, right? Every vibration has a vibration, its own vibration. It's a high vibe, it's a low vibe, it's medium, it's different chakra vibes, different sounds, different colors. Everything has a vibration. If you are thinking angry thoughts, yes, they come back and bite us in the ass every time. So when we catch ourselves thinking pissy thoughts, it's normal. Okay, we're going to do that. We are built to react. When we react to something, like I'm totally in politics, right? I'm pulling away from politics to a certain degree. I'm watching enough to be responsible, sign petitions, stay on top of it, vote, etc. But I'm not letting it manipulate my moods. It was going on so easily for a long time. It's like, no, I happen to know that irritant is getting ready to die. And everybody's freaking out about this person. And I know he's getting ready to die. So why am I getting reactive? I'm not going to react. Hello, Charlie. So you have to catch those voices and turn them off. But you can't really turn them off. So the point is, have a reaction, but don't stay in it. Do not dwell in the reaction. So you can look at something that's an injustice or something that's unfair, and you go, that is unfair, or that is not just. But if you have no personal power over it, if there is nothing that you can do to affect whatever it is you're reacting to, back away. It's not yours. You're not here to cure the world. It's not broken. You can't fix it. It's not yours. You can only do what's your influence, all right? So if you think you're here to fix the world, believe, and I'm one of those people, I grew up thinking, I'm here to save the world. I need to save the world. The world needs saving. It doesn't need saving. So you need to go where you're led, in here, and watch the feelings. Just check them. Don't judge them. Don't be hard on yourself because you got pissed off. You would not believe it. But I tore a complete stranger a new asshole in public for the first time in my life, and I did it a year ago. I'm not saying this, although I became some people's idol for that. I'm not saying it with pride, because I lost my temper with an idiot. So, who should be ashamed, the idiot or me, for knowing I'm talking to an idiot and still losing my temper? Like, no, I should have just gone, go in peace, child, and turned away and put plugs in my ears. But no, I didn't. So we are occasionally not going to live up to our own best expectations. We're not going to perform at peak at all times. We can still aim for that. But when we fail at that, we don't need to punish ourselves. We just move on. Don't dwell. Yeah, I know, I'm still beating myself up, but I'm not really. I'm not beating myself up for losing my temper. It's just, for me, it was a very important lesson to prove that I can still lose my temper. And of course, Charlie knows when I lose my temper. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, you're right. But don't force yourself to do anything today unless it is vibrationally correct for you. Now, as an adult, you have certain obligations in the world to take care of yourself, take care of your bills, whatever your situation is. There's things as an adult that you have to take care of, right? They're not all pleasant. But if you approach everything with an attitude of, oh, this again, or, oh, man, I hate this, like doing the dishes. The dishes are inevitable if you feed yourself. But I once knew a young man who adopted a kitten, which I later rescued. And he got pissed off at this kitten because it was using the litter box. And I said, that's what the litter box is for. But it just eats and shits. It just eats and shits. That's all this does. It eats and shits. I'm sick of picking up shit. I said, that's what the litter box is for, and that's what kittens do, just like humans. Only you can go in the bathroom and flush the toilet, and the kitten needs you to flush it for it. And I tried to be as patient as I could, and then he picked up the kitten and he threw it. So I rescued the kitten. Could I change this person? No. I did tell him that if he ever rescued another animal, I would cut his hands off. But of course I didn't. But I did rescue the kitten and found a home for it. So there are some things you can't change. And there's some things you can. But the only thing you can really change is you. And if you want to really be happy, you have to learn what's about you that you need to change so that you can move through the world happy. At least as happy as you can possibly get. And I can tell you, you've got no clue yet how happy you're yet to be and how happy you're capable of being. And when that starts showing itself to you, it's just going to increase your happiness. Yeah, look, some people are incapable of controlling themselves. And by the way, when I told this man that if he ever threw a kitten or anything else again, I would cut his hands off, I said it just as calmly as I just said it to you now. I did not get dramatic, I did not yell, and I didn't make a scene. Usually when I said things like that, nobody else could hear me say them except for the person I meant to hear. Yeah. I was a cigarette smoker, much to my regret, because I have COPD now, even though I quit for 20 years. And then when my husband and I divorced after 22 years, I went back to smoking. Now, not as much, but I was still smoking, and this time it was bad. I only smoked for a few years, half the amount I used to, and I think it did twice the damage. So, you can't tolerate a lot the older you get. So different things for different times for yourself. Oh yeah, of course. Well, that was back in 1972. I'm sure the kitten and the person who hurt it they're both gone now. So true. You cannot change other people. But here I just recounted a bummer story, right? That's a negative vibration. It brings you down. And also, it doesn't bring anybody back to life. It doesn't change what already happened. And I don't want to bring that memory into the future. I don't want to say, now it's time for you to meet another asshole who abuses his animals so you can rescue it. And it's like, no, I did a lot of rescuing in my days. And I'm done. Yes, well, I'm glad it's over. It was time, past time by a couple of years, really, but it's over, and I can think about him at this point because that happened in 2016. So I've got a counselor I speak to every Friday, and he hasn't been a subject for quite some time now, except in as an example of what I don't want to ever experience again. But I learned my lessons with him. I had great love with him. I don't regret having that experience in that relationship. But I also know now signs about things I did not know about before. Now I know I will never get involved with things like that again. Some things I guess you just have to learn by experience, you know. Now, if we had not moved to the country, far, far, far away from anybody else, I mean, out there in the boondocks where people didn't even realize we were still living there after 12 years, they saw me in town all the time, but I wasn't a social butterfly because my ex was a narcissist who isolated, but I wanted to be on the farm, so I was happy. It wasn't but if we had lived in the city, if we'd stayed in California, we would not have lasted 20 years because I would have recognized what he was doing within probably just a couple of years. So it just depends on where you're at, you know. Narcissists, the really bad ones, you know, they want their person isolated. They want that one person to be everything to them, and they don't want any outside information coming in because their one thing might talk, you know. So he did his best to cut me off from my family, my friends. He would emotionally punish me if I had a good time or I did something on my own. Very jealous of anything I did, so I couldn't do my art without it being like, well, you know, do the same kind of art I'm doing, or it's not good enough. It's like, okay. But I didn't notice it. I didn't notice it for a good 8-10 years because I was so happy being isolated. I was happy living on the farm and doing all my farm things and rescuing the animals and having my 5 dogs and 3 cats and 2 cats. And then having my garden and doing the farmer's market and making bread and muffins all the time. I loved my life. So I didn't notice he was a fucking asshole as soon as I might have if other people were actually around to observe. So me, I was like, honey, you're home. I made dinner. And I was very happy to live that way until things started happening that made me realize that, wrong, not good, feel bad. I think I'd go. But I didn't, and that's why it was a problem. So when I got my first signals to leave, I told him, I mean, it was plain flat out. I said, you either get help with this or I'm leaving. And I wasn't joking. It was like, boundary line. But then he started trying. And then, of course, I was the one that drew up the contract there, so I couldn't back out and divorce him, and so we stayed another 8 years. Too long. So intuition was warning me, and I ignored it. I misread it, I should say. I thought of it as, all right, you do not kick a puppy, you know. He's hurting. He's depressed. He's upset. Oh God, I can't just leave him like this. So I learned, and now I can't even tell you the heights of my happiness. I can't even begin to describe it, how wonderful it is right now to be me. So now I just want to be an example. Oh, that sounds all good. Well, my hair was cut quite short. It's blue. It's now down to about here. I usually wear 2 pigtails, but it's too long for that now. So until I can get someone else to cut my hair in layers like I need it, then it's just going to be whatever I can do with it. I've never been good with hair. So what can I say? Nuts are good for you. Your doctor, I'm sure, told you avoid macadamia nuts if you're trying to lose weight. Avoid avocados if you're trying to lose weight. As healthy as they are too high in fat. So not good. So you will learn what to do, right? And you will lose the weight. You will get some exercise in every day. I feel bad now eating this in front of you, but my tea is going to be crappy if I don't do this. So I do like my occasional junk food, and this was my dollar store reward. Yeah, 10 years of hot flashes. Now I get hot flashes from the, actually they're just sweats from the cancer. So, It was all through that, and I was starting to feel human again, as I said, and then I got the ET, and that was that. Started getting these really weird sweats all over again. It's like, what the hell's going wrong? This can't be right. How many came in the box of this? 4 packets of 2 for $1.25. I mean, they're absolute crap too, but as long as you don't do a bunch of them, they are sweet enough to satisfy pretty much, I think, any sweet craving. Justin, whenever you lose your temper, Oinkness finds it. Well, I'm glad. Oh, that's wonderful, Jacob. You're down to 152? Congratulations. That's amazing. I'm gonna say, watch out, husband and wife on set. But she's got the band hammer. Oinkness is empowered as one of our mods. So, Jacob, one of the things that you never got to see on IntuiTube, now for people who don't remember IntuiTube was my first show, and that was 14 years ago on Blog TV. We did 3.5 years there. We got up to 2,000 followers, and then they sold the company to, what was it? What did it go to then? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. All right, Orion. Okay, you do have the ultimate power, don't you? Boop. Ooh, restart. How did that happen? You guys are great. So much has happened in the years since we saw you last, Jacob. Yeah. It was a kid's site. And you had to, like, entertain them long enough for them to add minutes for you to be able to stream. And it's like, what is this shit? I'm an adult. I'm not playing this game with 13-year-olds. Yeah, that's it. That's it. You now. Boy, that suck. Oinkness has the final say with that, doesn't she? I think she does the bulk of the cooking, too, doesn't she? Well, it was started, Blog TV was started by some young people in the 20s. They invented the first live streaming service, and that's what they sold, the technology. So Israel also came up with ICQ, the first, that one that AOL's Messenger was modeled on. Yeah, she does have the purse string, so that is the last word in a capitalist society, which is what we are in. So, yeah, so after that we went to, where did we go? Oh, Vaughan. And that was like run by mother-son trolls. Mirabilis. Wait, what's that word mean? Where did I know that from? I'm doing this so I can read the chat. Oh, yeah. Since you've seen me, I got fake lenses in my eyes. So I don't need my glasses anymore for up to here. I have a 16-inch focal point. So I had to have these glasses turned into my super close up. I can sort beads of tiny size or sew them. These are so I can see the screen over there, but I can't quite see what you're saying because if you're not typing in capital letters, I can't read you over there. So I have my phone here with YouTube and a chat up. Ah, okay. Yeah, an Israeli person or company. That's why I know that. I was on ICQ, but I was at the tail end of it. I didn't like it as much as actually the AOL Messenger. And I knew only the people I worked with on a psychic website. We all had to have ICQ. But my family all had the little golden man thing, so I had to download that even though I wasn't an AOL subscriber. Yeah, Justin, you know all about this shit. So then after we left Vaughan, we were there for what, another 3 years? Moved over because of how they were treating some of the people there. We did not have any personal arguments. I had no arguments with the management other than the way they let trolls attack people who were streaming. Excuse me. And since I've been having my dragon eat trolls for quite a few years now, there's Synthargus, I'm not threatened by trolls. So my argument was more, what are you doing to these other people? They're paying to be here, and you're not protecting them. And that pissed me off. So I moved from there to Vlog. Esteban Cream, awesome dude. But you have to pay to stream there. They don't have a big enough community for me, and I have to make a living at some point in my life. So I went to Twitch, where I can take donations, which I appreciate, and people can subscribe to me at $4.99 a month or free if they have Prime, and I get half of that. So it's like, yeah, I need to make some money. Times are changing. I need to make $190 a month now. It's a huge amount of money. No, it is not. But yeah, I vlog, that's it. And I really like the people there. They're nice people. But it's also, it's just a small community. And as much as I like the people, it's just not enough for me. I need to do my part in sharing the laws, of how we can make our lives better. That's part of who I am. So I want to be able to reach as many people as possible, and I think YouTube and Twitch are about the best options. So I'm doing most of my streams here on YouTube, and every Sunday for sure, but sometimes Thursdays as well on Twitch. One of the things I really love about Twitch, number one, it's really smooth. It's I love the chat icons. We have our own, and yep, and I'm trying to do more shorts now. What you didn't know about Jacob is Toeblarina is my character. This is Toeblarina's mannequin, and you have to check this out. Let me see if I can get this right. HTTP. www. I feel like I'm down in Texas. Store. Back up. / Toeblarina. Yes, it worked. Jacob, that's what I'm working on. So a year ago, after getting impatient, well, we had a couple of people that we've been working with for many years now who have done pretty much nothing to improve their circumstances, but they're complaining about the same things today that they were complaining about 14 years ago. And I just felt so completely discouraged, as if it was me who hadn't learned a thing, and that was it. On New Year's Eve, I saw, well, I had a funny experience with an air mattress, and that was when Jeff Bezos had launched his penis rocket. And I kind of just cracked at that point because of my current circumstances at that time. And that was like, okay, we're going to stop doing cards for a while. I'll do one if you ask, but they're not going to be part of the show anymore. And I got rid of the list. We had to, you know how on Blog TV we had list keepers. Well, nice thing about Twitch is you can just pay a few dollars a month and get this whole thing automated so people can add themselves to the list. It's visible to everybody. No one can bitch that, oh, well, I was on the list and you took me off the list. And none of that. Nothing juvenile at all. Very smooth. And eventually I will go back to doing the cards after I get a few more things straightened out around here. But I have to establish Toeblarina as the diva that she is. And Meg, definitely, the shorts, I like doing the shorts. I've got a whole bunch of shorts planned. A notebook full of ideas that I just keep adding to. Oh, and by the way, the last Swiss roll is going to be squashed by Toeblarina. So I'm saving it for that. Now, yeah, now I want to make her a drag queen costume. And that is going to be a bit of a challenge, because here's the thing. Toeblarina's costumes are only 1 inch wide because it's my toe, man. I've just got a little toe. This is bigger than my real toe. I just made it bigger so it'd be heavy enough clay to stand up. Toe in a roll. Oh, I like that. Toe in a roll, like a hot dog bun. I like that. Yeah, we've got a bunch of these, and they are very funny. So, yeah. Oh, let me just look outside my front door for a second, because we have a delivery. No. Well, I guess it must be in my mailbox because it's not in that freezing hallway. Ah! Tow your boat. I'm thinking. I do have a pirate patch. Well, let's see. We have a Day of the Dead toe. I know, he's got some good ones. I'll write the tow your boat But we can only do so much with that because there's only so much space between the toes. Toe, 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 your boat. Well, it does rhyme. Toe, toe, toe your boat gently through your shoe. And we have a Tosanna. We've got a barrel with straps. I got, who is with the sensor blocks, the top and bottom? I'm going to turn her into an ice cream cone with an ice cream hat. And what I need is a baker's hat. I don't think I can really make one of those, but they've got to have them for some doll, right? Wait a second. What about those things that they make for putting on the ends of your turkey legs? Toto. Toto. I love the rains down in Africa. Toto. So what am I supposed to make my toe look like? A drummer? Little drummer boy? Well, girl? I need a chef hat. I need a chef hat. So, also we came up with tapestry or tapestry, but then that's also like a toe pastry. It's like, oh, we can do a pastry and we can do a tapestry. Now, I can do a little bit of weaving. Yeah, me too. But I think they're actually, they make them more just things that stick out. You know, cut it like confetti that's not made into little pieces, the strips. But I've seen some that also just bow. I don't know how they fold the paper to get it to do that. I'm thinking. So these are the projects coming up. So we also have the backdrops to continue working on. So actually the next thing to finish, to go with the backdrop, is we're working on her little cat ears. And I came up with an, I think the larger size here. Now I just have to put like a lamination on it to keep this together. These things are tricky. They're very tiny, as you can tell. Now, these are the glasses I'm working on. I got them a little closer to what I've been trying to get. But now I need to make them into sunglasses. And for that, oh, please tell me I still have a little bit of that black rice paper left. I have dark blue. Wait a second, wait a second. No, I don't think that's black. Yeah, yeah. They are very cool. But I think when you don't buy two of them, don't you buy like a package of them? Oh, this is beautiful, but it's more like a deep plum. No, we're not going to use that. I made that for... I want to make a fancy, like a bow tie that goes with a tuxedo, a beaded, sequined tuxedo for Amber. Amber Ruffin. She deserves a gift. Now we have our little angel outfit. So we have to come up with a background for that. And of course, a little black dress and a simple string of pearls. Also very important. Well, I guess I can take a piece of this dark blue and drop some black ink on it. And I think that's what we're going to do. Because it won't take very much, will it? Not much at all. Let's try something. Here. Do you think the Ken and Barbie dolls, you think any of them have a chef's hat? Because that could make my life significantly easier. Oh, wait a minute. Here, you go back over there. We're gonna go get a little bit of special black ink. Oh yes, very special black ink. Ah, ha ha, we have it. Look at this. Thank you again, Meg. Meg supplied our studio with inks. Fancy inks, my favorite Winsor & Newton inks. We are inked to go. I'll be wearing this. Oh, wait. I got another idea. No, that's an inhaler. Glue stick me. This is the crappy one. I don't think that's going to work as well. You just stay there. Nope, that's what I thought. Crap. Oh, did you just pick up now? Well, it sticks to my finger. You want to try that again? Well, I have clear glue I can drop in here. And that That was sneaky. All right, let's try that again. Put a drop in there, a drop in there. Come in, we don't want a bubble. I think we can solve that with water. There we go. We'll see what happens to this. Meanwhile, this was a waste of $1 in general. We're going to try it again and see if it helps, if this can work for me with the lightweight tissue that will become part of these 2 hearts, because these are going to be decorations for our community room. That might be perfect. Okay. We'll just let that dry. Dry it, dye it, and cut it. And we'll see what we have. Hopefully something groovy enough for her to wear. They're for the toe. All right, another thing I had for the toe is this. I took this out because I have to make her a dress. Now, the nice thing about this stuff is it doesn't unravel when I cut it. So I've already discovered, let me go back here. This right here. And to make this the right size, I just have to cut one of these layers off on these rows. And now it's exactly the right width for her. So I do like that. We can always save this as a belt for something else. I just have too much going on with these things. Okay. And I believe I made this to overlap one. I will check right now. I'm going to check on the real Toeblarina. You can't look. It's off screen because she never appears naked. Okay, so just one. All right. Easy peasy. And let's see. Oh, what the heck. Come here. I like my needle better. Okay. This was a little sewing kit I got on Amazon. I knew it was small, but it turned out to be even smaller than I imagined. needle threader. I love these things. I need to get more. I had to make the little holder. Okay. Don't pull it out. Now, when I had to do that video today on Toeblarina's dislike for cheap chocolate, it took 6 tries. After each try, I had to throw away the dress that I made for her because it was sullied with chocolate and cherry stuff, and wash my foot because it was, you know, sticky. So that was what took so long today, was all the stuff you do to get ready for the next attempt. Oh, no, you don't. There you go. Ahoy! How are you? Welcome, Seder. I was just thinking of you because as I was doing this, I was thinking of a certain new sewing machine. How are you tonight? It got down to minus 22 today with the wind chill. I can't even open my hallway door. It's so damn cold in the hallway. Our heat was off for 24 hours. Apparently, they didn't get it on in the hallway because there's no heat in the hallway. And I ain't going out there. All right, we have a new dress. And it's nice and sparkly like I like. Yay! So our heat's back on, and I've had to use my little space heater today on top of that, but it's starting to catch up. Not great. Uh-oh. Oh dear. No, okay, we got some heat. Scared me for a minute because the end of the end unit here is like cold. It's like, no, we're not starting that shit again. We're having a nice peaceful evening. So, Toeblarina had her spa bath today, but 2.5 minutes into it, her dress fell off. And I had to stop because she doesn't appear naked. But It turns out that half of that fizzy thing was plenty for that much water. It could have done a whole bathtub, really, even though it's a small one. So I rescued the last piece of it because it's enough for another take. Smelled really good, feels really good on the skin. Plus it's lush. So you can't lose. And the next one, after I make her a new bikini, and we've got this gold one, but it's starting to show a little wear, so I guess we could use this one in the bath. I didn't use it today because I thought, you know, it might oxidize right before our very eyes and turn black. Which, on the other hand, that could be pretty interesting. Okay. Well, we're getting our costumes. Whoops, sorry guys. Costumes together. The the sunglasses are, I'm trying this approach. I don't know if it'll work. I'll know more tomorrow. Because I'm not sure if it's going to dry in time. I'll just leave it till tomorrow. We have tomorrow. And then I will dye the sunglasses black with some genuine India ink. Okay. This is a beautiful couple of different blues rice paper here. This is the paper that I made Stephen Colbert's teensy toe ties out of. Those came out so cute. Of course, you can see the prototype in the Toeblarina Meets a Friend, or Makes a New Friend. That's the prototype for the ties that I sent Colbert. Of course, it's Valentine's Day now, and they're past the Christmas stuff, so sometimes Star Trek is so preposterous, preposterous, I can't even. Well, that's right on subject. So probably 10 cartridges worth of ink. For what? What does that have to... 10 cartridges worth of ink. What does that have to do with Star Trek? Being preposterous. You trolling me? No, that's not at all on subject. Sometimes Star Trek is so preposterous I can't even. Probably 10 cartridges worth of ink. Is this more on subject? I said that before. Was filling up my cartridges with ink and somehow managed to drop probably 10 cartridges worth of ink. Yeah, it does sound like a big mess. Sorry you did that to yourself. I don't know what that ink costs anymore, but it used to be not so bad. Do remember, never put India ink in your pen because it contains shellac and it will destroy your pens. And that's good. Yeah, I used to do that in my, either over a blotter or in the kitchen sink. Spilling is easy. Ouch. Well, that's good. All right, now we're going to try this super cheap stuff and see if it's worth it. It's not as smooth as the more expensive one I used. Seems a lot drier. That's the, yeah, go ahead, make a wrinkle. No, don't, I'm just joking. Don't wrinkle. Don't curl. Don't be a brat. He offered you a job. Congratulations. Yeah, as I said, that is just crap. It doesn't even hold tissue paper together. Don't frustrate myself. Let me get the real deal. Just used to be around here somewhere. All right. Elmer's Craft Bond instead of dollar store crap bond. least 10 hours? I don't know. I don't know. Everybody has a different deal going on. When I worked at my first job at a bakery, it was on weekends. I did a full shift from 6 in the morning until 3 in the afternoon. And then after school, I couldn't do it every day after school because I had homework and I was in a Regents program. But I worked after school at least a couple days a week, just a couple hours. I got in every hour I could because our family needed the money. Oh, 10 an hour? Oh, I don't know. What's your minimum wage? Because cafe work is minimum wage job. I have no idea what the economy is like in your area, etc. So, no, they're usually technically like restaurants here. Restaurants didn't even pay minimum wage. They had a separate minimum wage. It was lower than minimum wage. And you can't make a living on it. You count on your tips. But then they started with now you have to report at least 10% of your tips. But they want 100% of it reported, really. But, yeah, tips are income. So they started taking that out. So there's all kinds of deals, Charlie. There's no one size fits all. Don't you know what your minimum wage is? $10 is a lot in a cafe. I can't imagine someone offering that. Because the people that don't sell alcohol have a very low profit margin. It's usually why you see the owners putting in hours in so many of those places. Because they can't afford the help. You do it yourself. Every restaurant I ever worked, the owners worked there. Uh-huh. Yeah, that's bad. If they have so many employees and they're all getting paid shit. Well, you know, I found most of the restaurant people I worked for, the small places that were very busy, but they were still, like the diners. I worked in a couple of diners, and they were basically gruff people, hard workers, but they also had a soft spot for people who needed to make a buck. And sometimes they would loan money and make you work it off and say, all right, you need this to get out of trouble, but you owe me these hours. So you don't know what the deals are for each of those people. It might be something real simple and out there, but it might be something on a person-to-person basis. Considering it's your first job, be glad you're getting anything at all. They used to apprentice people, which meant you worked for nothing so you could learn a trade. And you were lucky if you got room and board. So there's all kinds of arrangements. We take what you can get. It's your first job. Expect to get fired from it or quit. It's just a temporary thing. It's just for you to get your feet wet and find out what it's like. Learn the rules. It's not your job. It's not your career. So take it seriously because it will reflect on you. Your job is about, how you perform your job is about you, not the job. Yeah, well. Oh, you'll be surprised. But no, I wouldn't expect you to get fired. I would expect you to quit. Which eventually should be the case. You're not making a living there. But you can learn a lot about yourself, about people, working with the public. It changes your perspective if you last long enough. Yeah, that would be one example. I said, you know, it's trust the guy to know his business. If he came out and said he can hire you for any hours, that means he knows what he can afford, and he's giving you a chance. Because he sees you, no doubt, as a young person who needs a break. You said you're willing to work. He's going to give you a test of that. So cool. I'm happy for you. I love working with the public. But I will say that being a waitress was the hardest job I ever did. On my feet, hours and hours and hours, dealing with a mostly ungrateful audience, if you know what I mean. When you need those tips, and you have people who you work your ass off for an hour, and then they leave and they stiff you, and you don't know why, because you were so good at what you did. Like, no reason, just because some people are dicks. Or sometimes they don't have money. But it's the poorest people who will treat you the best. Usually. Hey, stop that. Thanks. Well, it all depends on what you're serving, right? But in any case, you'll find out. I think that's wonderful. Congratulations. It's good to have a job. It's good to try it out. See what you like, see what you don't like. Create your intentions for the future with it. Oh, a feather. I have a bunch of these feathers flying around now. There we go. Oh, and strangers being polite to you? Well, you're not in America, so you can look for that. Oh, well, guess what, Charlie? You don't set your hours. They have a shift. They have hours. And they need people to fill those hours. You either can or you can't. And that's usually like, we have this shift open. We need somebody for these 4 hours. Oh, that's good. I hope they are. Most people are going to act like they're supposed to act, Charlie. Most of them. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, they'll be polite. Don't expect any money from them, but they will be polite. And you never know. If they take a shine to you, they'll save up some money for nice tips. But do you do much tipping in your country? Because, like, in Europe, I understand they don't. Tipping is kind of a foreign idea. In America, they pay so poorly compared to the cost of living in wherever you are, that tips are necessary to survive. Which doesn't guarantee you getting them, it's just that they are needed. Uh-oh. That was not a good fold. I know. Just pay people a good wage. Like the $15 minimum wage. People need to be able to survive. What? How did they do that? Is it included in the price? Oh no. No, no, no. That's too... Fuck Starbucks. No. Make your own goddamn coffee. You'll save a ton of money anyway. That's ridiculous. $10 for a cup of coffee. Can you really justify that? Can they really justify that? Oh, Charlie, he's too old for you, and you don't. Are you? Do you know? Is he gay? Oh, yeah, but who gives $4 for a $6 coffee? As far as I'm concerned, that starts at 60 cents. But I would give $1. I think $1 for making me a cup of coffee is enough. Yeah, that's a shocker. I know, I'm not crazy about their coffee. They burn their beans. They do make an ice cold frappuccino thingy, or I don't know, Machiavelli, whatever they call it. Very sweet, yes, very sweet. It was like Rich and I had them in Baltimore on a super hot day, and we were just dying for something cold. And we were getting tired out there in the sun walking around the harbor, so we thought, okay, iced coffee sounds delightful. We went there and was like, well, that sounds really interesting. I never had one of those, and neither had. It was a white chocolate mocha frappuccino. It was out of this world. It was way too sweet. It was dessert. It was like having a piece of cheesecake, that rich. And it went down too fast and easy. Dutch Brothers. Yeah, I heard they were good. That's reasonable. That's reasonable. We don't have Dutch Brothers here on this coast. Yeah. Well, if I can get out your way and you can show me around. No. Let's get that out of my way for the moment. Come on, you're the same size. Don't give me a hard time. Hey. Let's hope for the best there. And there was one little thing I forgot. We're going to have to do that again. This time with embroidery thread. Where are you? Oh. We'll make it work. Hold on, let me catch up with you. You just filled my chat again. The problem is when am I gonna read my newspaper? Like, I already only have Saturday and Sunday, and I want to commemorate the 100th year of the newspaper, knowing I bought all the newspapers since before the 50th. At what cost? It's 52 weeks a year. "52 weeks. Oh, wonderful, Meg. Awesome. Have a fabulous time. If you ever want to share a map or anything, of course, I would love to look at what you're doing. Charlie, if you're worried about the price of your stupid paper right now, about the inflation on it. Just switch to a non-print. Jeez. Well, sometimes you'll do it and sometimes you won't. Be like every other old man that sits there and reads the paper over the weekend. You know, you can read a little bit during the week too. You don't have to read it all in 2 days. And the more you're worried about it, the worse it's going to be for you financially. So focus on the enjoyment you get out of it, and that's the most important part. If you stop getting pleasure out of it and the money becomes more of an issue than the pleasure you're getting out of it, then stop. That's a bad point of attraction right there. You're only attracting trouble. So why do that to yourself? Because they don't make the kind of money that they have just a couple $100 laying around for a paper. They do it like everybody else and like you're going to learn how to do. You get so much a week, you have to budget. And if you can spend that much money on a paper once a week, that's great. But you're not going to have a leftover surplus of $200 at any given point that you can just go ahead and spend it on something like that. Then it's just a silly thing. So is it cheaper to buy a year subscription? Probably. Can they afford it? Probably not. Yep, sounds like they got that kind of a issue there, but as long as you don't follow suit and you learn how to manage your money, then you'll be fine. Just don't expect them to be the answer to your financial dreams. Well, you might be right in your assessment. There's probably factors you have no clue about because they don't make it your business. But yeah, it doesn't sound like they have a really good grip on it any more than I have on that heart. Yeah, well, there you go. People have problems. They have to find their way through them. If you see a problem, you either help them work it out or get out of the way. Some things are just not yours to solve. Do you know what your mother's problem is? Sometimes that's all people have energy for at the end of the day, Charlie. When you're working full time, you'll start to get an idea about it. But until then, you have it easier than you want to believe. But you'll know that eventually, so I don't have to tell you anything about that. But I'm glad that you're getting a job, even though it'll just be part-time. It's a good taste. You pay for your own newspaper and coffee. All right, these are going to have to press flat. I will not be able to do what I want to do with these. So, let's see, what can I press these under? Cheap chocolate. We have enough of that. Hold on. I have it right here. There we go. Check you tomorrow. They're maybe not be pretending. That's all they can possibly do from the point that they're at. Didn't you reach that point in your studies? All you could possibly do, and you still didn't get the grades you wanted? Again, you're judging them. And as long as you're judging them, you're not going to be happy. You're going to be in a state of judgment. You can't be happy when you're judging other people. You're not accepting. Ooh, so what am I making for dinner? Yeah, and that's what you need to do, is stop forming your opinions about your parents, because your observations are not as correct as you think they are. But you're not going to understand that from your current perspective. So just back off them. You can't change who they are, and you can't change how they do things. The only thing you've got control over is your future. What you do now. You don't do it, you don't do it. Who's going to suffer? You. No one else. That's it. Life is not a chess game. Life is not a chess game. No, that's wrong. It's completely opposite of what reality is. Completely opposite. You just don't know it yet because you're all do, but that is because where you're at. So after you've banged your head on a wall for a while, then eventually you will look for an easier way. And that requires changing aspects of your own personality deliberately. But you're not there yet. Why do you want to be proven right or wrong? Who cares? By whom? Who are you trying to impress? And why would you seek being proven wrong about anything? How would I better myself if I'm not proven wrong? Like, about what? Doesn't the subject matter? And isn't self-improvement your business? You have to go seek education. You have to seek for ways to stretch yourself. You have to do the learning. So it has nothing to do with anybody except you. You can't put that on anybody else. It's nobody's obligation. It's you who have to be the seeker of knowledge. Like the people who go climb mountains to visit monasteries, or go out to the desert to see if they can find Carlos Castaneda's ghost. People go looking for knowledge. It's not an obligation for anybody to teach you. Well, if that's how you want to do it, I'm not interested in proving anything to anybody. And I'm not going to go out of my way to prove you wrong or right. You have your own life to live. Yeah? While you sit judging how lazy your parents are, you've also told me how hard your father works and how tired he is when he gets home at the end of the day. Your mother is going through some stuff and they've been fighting. Wonder what that's all about. Maybe money. Maybe sex. Or the lack of it. The thing is that they're not letting you in on the intricacies of their relationship and their issues. I have opinions about things like, I have preferences. Like if I have a piece of salmon that I cooked, I'll have an opinion about how well I did. But it's in the tasting. If it tastes good, I did well. If it doesn't taste as good as I hoped, then I don't think about it so much other than what I can do to make the next piece better. So yeah, I have opinions, but I don't cling to things because opinions can change depending on new information coming in. So I have opinions about different things, but I have to also be willing to change my opinions because things I was right about 50 years ago, some of them are still right. I'm ahead of the curve there because I've been saying they were right before other people started saying they were right. But now there's also places where I'm wrong because things changed since 50 years have passed. So that happens to everybody. Now, I guess I have to do, it doesn't matter. It applies to everything. Everything. My interest is in manifesting my desires. And that's what I teach here. And that is not something you have never once brought up or added to the conversation. You always bring it to whatever you want it to be about. And you never participate in anything else. So I do notice that, and I have an opinion about it, but you wouldn't like it. Yeah. So that's my own personal opinion on something I did. I'm not judging something else unless I go out to a nice restaurant and order the salmon and go, this is really good. That's an opinion. Because I have a friend here in the building, as a matter of fact, who does not like the taste of salmon, no matter how it's cooked. So for him, any salmon, the opinion is going to be, What are opinions? Yeah, maybe they're not interested. because they're all past your age. That's the opinion I have that you're not going to like. What you're going through, what you're discussing, your perspective is all from a teenager. And everyone in this room is way older than you, or older to the degree that they're working full time, they've lived on their own, they've had to pay their own way. No, I know you don't mind, but that's not what the show is about. This is not what I sit here to do. Okay, so it's like, what is a conversation? What makes a good conversation about anything? I mean, what's a good conversation is if the people involved are interested in the same subject and wanted to talk about the same subject. But if one person comes in and they have a subject that nobody else is interested in discussing, what do you think is going to happen? That's not a good conversation. That's just you or me stating exactly how we feel about one thing. That's our opinion, or complaining, or whatever it is you're doing. And why would anybody have a whole lot to say about it? No, Nessa, you're taking the other extreme. I should just keep to myself. I should just shut my mouth and never speak. Yeah, I know I'm exaggerating, but that's exactly what you're saying. And that's also babyish. That's not an adult's reaction. It's not about keeping your opinion to yourself. You're missing the point. That you are not come into this room all the time, but you never participate in what the room's about. You're only here to talk about your shit and nobody else's. And you wonder why most people very rarely interject. Because they've already done their time working with 17-year-olds. Or growing out of being one. Right, I know. You do the conversations that you want to have, but those are not usually the topic of the room. So you see, there's a disconnect there on your part. You're not connecting to what I'm teaching and have been teaching, and you have never once participated in any of that. So, I mean, I'm aware of that. And, I let you go on, usually. What other choice do you have? To go to different rooms and find people who are interested in talking about the same stuff that you're interested in talking about? Because you're not here for advice on how to handle things with your parents. You have lots of choices. What choices do you want to make? The thing is, you're going to start meeting more people, and you're going to have more opportunities for conversations, and you'll learn through them, and you will make some new friends, I hope. People you can have these conversations with. And you will find some people who are older and who will talk to you about those things to a point. But everyone who's way older, unless they're really into teaching young people, they're just going to, at points, just get tired of it. Because it's like, I've already gone through all that myself. I've been through all those adventures. I've been through all those pains and growing up. And, it's like, I don't want to keep going back to when I was your age. When I was your age, February 7th, 1972, I became homeless for the first time. I was 17 years old, and I walked out into the streets of New York City, not knowing what I was going to do because I was trained to go to college. I wasn't trained to earn my living. So things were difficult, to put it mildly, and I had to find a way to survive. That's not your fate. Well, I congratulated you. What else can I contribute? Congratulations. I was a waitress. That was my very first untrained, unskilled labor job, waitressing. Because you're complaining about your parents again. Parents that you have no interest in helping. Or that's how you've acted. So, what can I say? It's time for me to go cook something for dinner. And salmon does not sound like a bad idea, although I don't have any fresh dill, which I do prefer. So consider, Charlie, when I was your age, it was 1972. 1972. It's a long ways to look back and feel what it was like to be 17. Because even if I do that, I'll never feel like you, because my circumstances and the timing was completely different from you and your life. But I am really glad that you got a job. I look forward to hearing about it. I wish you very, very well in it. And I don't see any reason why you can't do well in it. It's a good place for you to go. Good stretch, safe environment, and coffee. And I'm sure that you will be able to have a free coffee while you're working there, which is even nicer as a perk of working in a cafe. You will not get free desserts, though. That's very rare. Those desserts usually are expensive. So the cafe I worked in, we paid the wholesale price, but we paid for our desserts. But cappuccinos, espresso, I could have all I wanted. No, not all the time, no. No. Sometimes, definitely, yes. But sometimes just no. Well, there you go. That's fine. I expect you to continue to do as you've done. Yes, just try to chill yourself out, kiddo. There was nothing for you to worry about at this point. Just relax. Try to connect to the happiest news of the day, the happiest vibes of the day, and stop offering conflicting ideas to yourself. Not me, I don't care. It's up to you. Sweet dreams. Good night. Sleep tight. It's all right. All right, my friends. Everybody in the rafters, in the background. Oinkness putting the groceries away. I'll be back tomorrow morning. Tomorrow's Sunday. Tomorrow is Twitch day. So see you on Twitch in the morning. It's time to eat dinner, and I have to cook it first.